Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Devin. Welcome back to another one of my fun tutoring videos. I am a senior at Hobart William Smith Colleges, and I am currently residing in Geneva, New York. So, another fun fact about myself is that I love sports. Growing up, I played football, basketball, and baseball. But beyond that, I love all types of sports. I watch a lot of hockey, soccer, volleyball. Basically, you name it, I watch it. And so I played football and baseball in high school, but I don't play anything anymore. But in college, you get to do these things called intramural sports, which is basically you and your friends just make fun teams and you play all different kinds of things. So right now, I'm on a soccer team. I play goalie, and I'm on a volleyball team and a softball team and even a dodgeball team. So there's, even beyond high school athletics and middle school, all that stuff, there's still lots of opportunities to get involved with sports. So in today's video, while we're on the topic of sports, I wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite authors growing up, who is Mike Lupica. Now, Mike Lupica writes mainly about sports, but the awesome thing is that there's still a lot of variety within these. So he covers stories about basketball, football, soccer, hockey, you name it. He's probably got a sports book on it. And then even within these, he has sub-series about mysteries and stuff that are more for younger kids. So there's really lots of cool stories that you can get involved with Mike Lupica. So with the wide variety of Mike Lupica's stories, there's also a wide variety of difficulty ranging. So if you're a beginning reader still, there's books that you can follow along with. And if you're a more advanced reader, then there's even more difficult books by Mike Lupica. My favorite of the sort of less advanced books for beginner readers is Mike Lupica's Comeback Kids. Now, this story focuses on a kid, Scott Perry, who in school is kind of thought of as a clumsy kid and not really known about, but then he ends up joining the football team and he ends up playing quarterback. And it's a great adventure through this kid's story as he learns to become a better quarterback and a better person, and it's a really interesting read if you're interested. Now, a more challenging Mike Lupica book is called Heat, which focuses on the story of Michael, and he's a phenomenal pitcher, and he is rivaled by a lot of other really good baseball teams in the area, and the difficult thing is that he needs to prove to himself that he's a great pitcher because he's an orphan. And so it's just a really phenomenal story about this kid's life overcoming challenges, and I think it's a great read if you're interested for more of a challenge. Now, one of my favorite parts about the Mike Lupica books is growing up as a sport player myself. I could kind of picture myself in these different stories and settings that Mike Lupica discusses with his characters throughout his novels. So they're really fun to get involved with, and especially in this time when we're not really playing sports, we can kind of imagine what it was like to play sports and look forward to playing sports again. So if you don't have access to these books right now, I'm going to challenge you guys again to write a short story about a time where you were playing a sport or some sort of athletic thing. And you can write about your experience, whether it be something about your teammates, your coach, maybe something funny happened, maybe you played really well in a game, anything like that. So I'm going to challenge you guys right now to go and write your own story. I'm going to write mine, and then I'll come back and read it again like I did in the last video. Okay, so I just completed my story, and now I'm going to read to you the story of the sleepy outfielder. All right. So long ago, when I was in second grade, I had the opportunity to play on a minor league, little league team with my older brother, coached by my dad. Up until this point, I had only played coach pitch baseball, so this was a huge step for me. As one of the youngest, if not the youngest, players in the league, I initially saw this as an opportunity to prove to the older kids that I could compete in baseball alongside them. I, however, overestimated my ability to stay focused on the game of baseball, especially with my father as the head coach. To this day, he still tells stories about me picking dandelions in the outfield while he did his best to conduct a batting practice for the rest of the team. It was apparent that I was not quite as interested in the game of baseball quite yet, But nevertheless, I enjoyed being a part of a team consisting of older kids. My claim to fame of this baseball season comes at our first night game under the lights, scheduled to begin at 8 p.m. At the time, I was not playing in the field, but was only batting for our team. In the third inning, about halfway through the game, it was my turn to bat, only I was nowhere to be found when I was called to step up to the plate. My coaches ran to the dugout to find me wrapped up underneath sweatshirts, sound asleep using my glove for a pillow. My dad woke me up and walked me to the batter's box with the only advice, just try not to get hit by a pitch, buddy. Still half asleep, I stood at the plate and swung at every pitch with the hopes of striking out as quickly as possible. When the umpire called me out, I ran back to the dugout, content as I reassumed my spot on the bench and dozed off for the remainder of the game. So that's the end of my quick story. It's a true story. I love telling that one because in the years following that, my love and appreciation for baseball and sports in general just grew a lot more. So it's funny to just reflect on how disinterested we can be in sports or other activities, and then with time just become a lot more attracted to them and that sort of thing. So hopefully you guys have written a short story of your own, and I'd love to hear them and read them if you comment in the comment section below. But with that, I'm going to wrap up this video. Again, I highly suggest Mike Lupica books for any sports fans or sports players out there. And yes, thank you so much again for tuning into my videos, and stay safe.